Welcome back to Red Seat Secrets, where we reveal what's really happening in America's travel industry. Today's Senate hearing exposed shocking truths about airline fees. Let's break it down. Senator Hawley asked, "Are you still paying your gate agents to stop customers from carrying on bags?" The Frontier Airlines executive admitted they still offer incentives to staff to block passengers from bringing carry-ons.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Mr. Biffle, if I could just start with you. About 9 months ago, your chief commercial officer testified to me that Frontier pays its gate agents bounties to stop paying customers from carrying bags onto the plane. Is this still happening?
Not at the rate it was. We changed
Well, wait. What does that mean? So are you still paying your gate agents to stop your customers from carrying bags on? You were paying them at least $10 every time you'd stop a paying customer from carrying on a bag, your gate agents to get paid for it. Is that still happening?
We do offer incentives and commissions, to stop people who didn't pay, not who paid, who didn't pay.
No, you are paying your gate agents, so it sounds like you're still doing it. You're still paying them money to harass customers from bringing bags onto the airline by saying it's too big or it doesn't fit in a little box or whatever the case may be. You're still doing it. That's your testimony today? Why?
I don't know that I would describe it that way, but we do provide incentives.
Why would you pay your own employees to harass your customers? Why is this good business practice?
Unbundling enables us to offer low fares. And the lower fares, many people could not afford to fly if they didn't have the lower fare option. But in order for the system to work, everyone has to be treated fairly. And when people then, a small percentage.
Wait a minute. Why are you paying your agents? This is going to be the only business in the world I have heard of that pays your people to harass your own customers. These are customers who have purchased a ticket. They have a carry-on bag, and you're paying your people at the gate to stop them and say, your bag is not quite right. It doesn't fit in this. We heard testimony. The Permanent Select Committee in this Senate has done a thorough investigation of this. We heard testimony from numerous of your customers saying they were wrongly stopped and harassed. There's no appeals process. There's nothing. You're making gobs of money on it. You generated $40 million in fees on this, according to your own data. That's amazing.
It's fair.
It's fair to whom?
Well, you continue to insinuate that they paid for their bag, and they did not pay for their bag.
They paid for a ticket that allows them to have a carry-on bag, and you're paying your agents to harass them, to stop them from carrying it on. You know, only other airline I know of, Spirit, was doing this, and they stopped because they said it was a terrible experience for the customers. Your customers hate it. This is one of the reasons they hate to fly. I can't believe you're still doing it.
Hawley called it harassment and exposed how Frontier made $40 million in bag fees alone.
So I don't feel sorry for you one little bit. In fact, I think you should apologize right now to all of your customers for what you're doing to them. And I think you should turn around and give them back the money that you've taken by forcing them to surrender their bags and pay extra fees after they've already paid a price. I mean, I don't get it. You seem to be totally baffled by this. You think that this is just fine.
I'm not baffled. I think you're insinuating that they paid for a bag that they didn't pay for.
No, I'm insinuating. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm accusing you, actually, of doing something that I think is wrong, of incentivizing your own employees to treat your customers badly. And the money you're making on it is astounding, just astounding. $40 million in fees. 62% of your revenues come from these ancillary fees, of which these additional baggage fees are part of it.
The execs, they danced around every question like their jobs depended on it.
Well, do you want to say anything to your customers or to the flying public?
I think we've made huge progress in this area this year. We have introduced, as I started to say, we've introduced an economy product. That product is for $20 to $30, gives you free change fees, free seat assignment, carry-on bag. The persons that you're discussing are the people who bought a basic product, not that product, and they didn't pay for it.
Will you commit to quit giving incentives to your employees to stop customers and take their bags away? Will you stop that? Your other airlines have done it, your competitor airlines, your peer airlines. Will you commit here today to stop paying your employees to harass customers?
Can I ask a question? So
I'd like an answer to mine first.
we will look at that, but I don't.
That doesn't sound like a yes or a no. Can you just say, yes, we will stop paying our gate agents to harass our own customers over their bags?
We are not harassing customers.
Yes, you are, and I invite you to read the report by the Permanent Select Committee of this body that investigated this and took testimony from your customers. Indeed, we took testimony from your own executives on this. This is a reality. Or, alternatively, you could go out to DCA here and go and ask some of your customers how they feel about it. I know what they'll tell you. They'll tell you what they told us. They hate it. They feel badly treated. They feel like they're treated like cattle. And you're making tens of millions of dollars off of it. And I just think that's wrong. I just think it's ridiculous.
The airline tried to spin it, saying unbundling lets them offer lower fares. But those so-called low fares only look cheap until you reach the gate. Then you're hit with fees for baggage, seat selection, even family seating. Here on Red Seat Secrets, we expose every shady airline tactic, so hit subscribe for more. Here's where it gets worse. Hawley asked why airlines still charge parents extra just to sit with their own kids. Airlines like Allegiant charge families extra, even for kids as young as 4.
Got a lot more questions for you, but I know other people want to ask questions. Let me just ask a question about the FAA reauthorization or tied to it, and thank you for mentioning it a couple of times now, Mr. McGee, and particularly the automatic refunds portion. That was my amendment with Senator Warren.
We're well aware of it, Senator, and we appreciate it.
I'm glad that we were able to get it passed. Something else that the FAA did on a bipartisan basis, that reauthorization bill, was direct or authorize the Department of Transportation to issue rules making sure that families can sit with their children. And I can say, as a father of 3 young children, this is something that's very important to families. Now, a lot of times passengers feel like they should be paid to sit next to my children. And maybe there's something to that. But I just want to ask, Mr. Anderson, DOT maintains a list of airlines that are currently complying with this and allow families to sit with their children next to them. The children are ticketed passengers. I just want to clarify, this isn't free tickets. But they allow the children to sit next to the parents at no additional seat charge. Now, according to the dashboard that DOT has, your airline is not one of them, meaning there's Allegiant right there with a big red X, meaning that you are charging families additional money over and above the child's ticket in order to sit next to a parent. I'm hoping maybe you'll tell me this is wrong. Is this accurate?
Senator Hawley, as a father of 4 young children, it's a very important issue to me as well. We, in practice, nearly always accommodate our families. Our gate agents are trained and empowered to make sure it happens. And over the past few years, I think there's only been a handful of times in which we haven't been able to accommodate families to sit together.
But am I hearing you to say that doesn't sound like a yes? Am I hearing you to say that your policy is not to provide seating for families, that if they may have to pay a fee depending on the circumstances? Is that right? Is that why you have an X, or is this wrong? I'd love to hear you say that this is just incorrect. Like all of these other airlines that have green checks, we do not charge additional fees for children who have already paid. They already have a ticket. They're ticketed. But your airline apparently is charging additional fees. I just want to know, are you still doing that? It sounds to me like you are, but please tell me that I'm wrong.
You're not wrong in the fact that we do have a red X on the DOT tracker there. But
why do you do that? Can you change that? I mean, can you tell us today that you're going to do what your other peer airlines do, and you're going to quit charging families extra to sit next to their parents? I mean, we're talking about kids who are 13 years of age and younger. This isn't like the 18-year-old who probably doesn't want to sit next to his parents anyway. I mean, these are it's like my 4-year-old little girl. I mean, I kind of like to have her next to me and I've already paid for her and not have to pay again. So I guess I don't understand. I know it's money, but, I mean, don't you think that keeping families together is, kind of important? The kids have already paid.
Very important.
Okay, good. Will you commit then to ending this policy of charging additional fees?
Senator, in practice, we accommodate our families to sit together without paying additional fees. Our gate agents are trained and empowered to make
Well, you do it when you can, but your policy is you can charge them if it comes down to it. So will you just say here today, we're going to stop doing that? we're not going to charge additional fees for families with young kids. This could be a big moment. This could be news.
Yes, we will. There were some technology issues that we're working through. We transformed our system, but we will look into this and explore the Red X.
The exec's answer? Just corporate double talk. Hawley called it predatory. He's absolutely right. The real shock? It's not just about luggage or seats, it's about privacy. Airlines collect your zip code, browser history, even your date of birth before showing you a price.
Dynamic seat pricing, which I think both Frontier and Allegiant engage in. Tell me if I'm wrong, but this is where you may charge me one fee and Katie Britt a different fee and Cory Booker yet a third fee for the same seat on the airline. It just depends. It's dynamic. There's no set fee. Why are you're shaking your head no, Mr. Biffle, so you don't do dynamic seat pricing?
So let's clarify dynamic seat pricing.
Price changes. It's not set.
Yeah, but it's set by route, not by individual customer.
Okay, so you don't collect personal information before people can see a price?
No, we don't use personal information.
You collect it though.
We collect it, but we don't charge you differently.
Well, how do I know that? You collect zip code, you use browser cookies, location information, search history, you collect date of birth, you collect gobs of stuff. I got to enter all of that before I can see a seat price. And my seat price may well be different than what Cory gets, depending on what he enters.
Well, I will tell you, we've been changing that. I have to have your date of birth to buy the ticket. That is actually a clunky, back to technology things. We're changing that so you won't have to do hardly anything. I want you to be able to search and click quickly. But
why are you collecting all of this personal information? What guarantee do I have that you're not using this to set my price? I have no idea how you're setting the price.
I just guarantee you we're not.
Well,
but
right. Just like you guarantee me your agents won't harass me, but you're paying them to do it. So, I mean, don't you think that you owe us some evidence? I mean, you're forcing your customers to enter all of this stuff before they can even see a price.
I will say it again. We are in the process of eliminating that. It's actually
meaning you're not going. I won't have to enter in this personal information to see a price. You're just going to use a set price. Do you use AI in your dynamic seat pricing at all?
No.
In advanced algorithms? Do you, Mr. Anderson?
No, not for.
Will you both agree not to do so? Going forward?
Okay. I don't know that I can agree to not use AI. We use AI in all types of things. We will never use
That's what worries me.
AI to use personal information. So the insinuation that we're using your zip code, your gender, or any of those things to actually change the prices, I find appalling. Personally, I know there's another travel business, not an airline, that I changed my credit card, and when they figured out that I was using my business credit card, the price changed. I was appalled.
That's dynamic pricing.
Well, yeah. Well, dynamic. When you said dynamic, what we mean by that is actually a 1 hour flight versus a 5 hour flight might have a different price, just like the fare might be different.
No, it means that the consumer has no idea. I have no idea what the price is going to be for a given seat on a given flight until I give you all of my personal information. It also means I have no idea if my price will be the same as Katie's price or the same as Cory's price.
As I said, we are eliminating all of that information from being gathered.
Okay, good.
We will still have to get your date of birth before you buy because we're required for security reasons, but we're going to stop collecting it up front.
Mr. Anderson, what about you? Will you not commit to not using personal information of any kind to set prices?
Yeah, we have no intention of using personal information to set prices.
Do you collect personal information before you allow customers to see a price?
We do before the seat selection, but that's to accommodate SSRs and who's able to sit in exit row seats.
Mr. McGee, do you want to speak to this? You've mentioned this earlier. I mean, the consumer here, we're told, trust us. But then the consumer is also told, but give us all of your stuff. Give us all your information. We'll put it all in here. I can't go so much as check to see what's available to flight home to Springfield, Missouri, unless I enter all of this junk, and I have no idea what's being done with it.
Senator Hawley asked, how do I know you're not using my data to set my price? The execs couldn't give a clear answer. With AI-driven pricing, your ticket cost could depend on your income, zip code, or browsing habits. Flying in America is terrible. People hate it, and it's because of policies like these. We're charged for everything: bags, seats, even privacy, while airlines rake in billions. If you want fairness and dignity, join the movement. Smash subscribe and stay tuned to Red Seat Secrets. Should airlines use AI and your data to set ticket prices?
Yes, Senator, thank you very much. I was recently on the privacy statement of one of the big three carriers, and it was this long if you printed it out, and it basically said that they were going to, that as soon as you go on their site for the very first time, they're going to monitor what you do, how long you're there, how long you stay on each page, presumably also the sites that you were on before and after it. Again, as I said, I think it would blow our minds to know exactly what they're collecting. That's before we get into the definition that most people would accept as personal information. That's why I was warning that I think we need to be much clearer about the language here. I would argue that that is private information. If I'm a shopper that goes on and is more impulsive and maybe books a flight after 5 minutes of shopping, why should I be at a disadvantage than someone that goes on 3 days in a row and spends an hour? That is the definition of surveillance pricing, personalized pricing, customized pricing, more synonyms than we can even count on this. But it is unfair. It is un-American.
And it's going to get much worse with AI. Ms. Pinkerton, let me just finish with you. I think it's Delta has said that they're using AI now to set prices, these customized prices. Isn't this a terrible idea? I think... Turn on,
Thank
yeah,
you.
there you go.
They've also made it very clear. I know their general counsel and executive vice president wrote a letter to Congress clarifying that they do not use personal information.
But how are we to know that? I mean, the whole value of AI is to ingest massive amounts of personal information in order to extract as much profit as you can from every person. Why else would they use AI?
Well, again, I think it's probably worth a deeper conversation about our definitions of personal.
Maybe we should just ban it. How about that? Should we just ban the use of AI in setting seat
AI
prices?
has so many potential benefits in terms of
And abuses.
providing. Yes, absolutely, and that's why we're committed to not using.
Well, let's just make it easy. Let's just. Would your organization support a ban on using AI to set individualized seat prices?
No, no.
Why not?
I think AI can be used in many, many different ways to come up with
Name
revenue.
me one that isn't about making a profit for the airline at the expense of the customer. Why else would you need AI to do it? To charge these differential
It's only
prices?
an efficiency tool. We do revenue
Efficiency means money. It means profit for the airline.
which, by the way, we're not very good at.
Oh, I disagree. I think your customers would disagree.
Our profit margins are miserably low. We never even are an average profit margin.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. I find that very
It's
hard to
true.
believe, or stomach. Well, I tell you what's true, is that the flying experience for most Americans is terrible. It's atrocious.
Should Congress step in? Drop your thoughts below. I'm reading every comment. Thanks for watching Red Seat Secrets. Fly informed, not fooled.